There's something different about you, and the room feels it before you even say a word. Not because you're loud, not because you're trying too hard, not because you walk around begging people to notice you. No, it's because there's something in your energy that doesn't sit right with fake people. Something in your silence that makes weak minds start filling in blanks. Something in the way you move that makes people wonder what the hell you know that they don't. And that's the part that gets them. Because most people can survive confidence, most people can tolerate talent, most people can even cope with somebody being attractive, successful, funny, smart, connected, whatever. But what they cannot handle is somebody they can't read, somebody they can't predict, somebody they can't reduce to a neat little label so they can feel safe around them. That's where you start breaking brains. See, the world is obsessed with categories. They want to know if you're weak or dangerous, broken or healed, kind or cruel, soft or savage, follower or threat, easy to manipulate or impossible to control. And when they can't figure that out, they panic. Not always out loud, not always in dramatic ways. Sometimes it shows up as fake concern. Sometimes it shows up as weird energy. Sometimes it shows up as gossip. Sometimes it shows up as people watching you a little too closely while pretending they don't care. Sometimes it shows up as somebody trying to provoke you just to see what version of you comes out. Because confusing people is one thing, but making people realize they can't map your mind, that does something to them. That hits a nerve. Because people feel powerful when they can explain you. The second they can explain you, they can dismiss you. The second they can label you, they can control the story. The second they can predict your next move, they can get comfortable. But you don't stay still long enough for that. Every time they think they've got you, you shift. Every time they think you're just quiet, you speak with precision and cut straight through the fog. Every time they think you're angry, you show discipline. Every time they think you're soft, you show teeth. Every time they think you're cold, you show depth. Every time they think you've given up, you come back sharper than before. And now they're stuck because you don't fit the narrative they made about you in their head. That's why some people study you in secret. Yeah, let's say it plain. Some people are low-key obsessed with understanding you. Not because they admire you in a healthy way. Not because they want to support you. Not because they love your spirit. They study you because uncertainty makes them itch. They replay your words. They notice your patterns. They scroll your page. They ask about you. They compare stories. They pay attention to what makes you react and what doesn't. They look for evidence that you're just another ordinary, explainable person. And every time they come back with empty hands, it messes with them a little more. Because your mind isn't built like theirs. You know pain without wearing it like a costume. You know loneliness without letting it make you pathetic. You know betrayal without turning into a copy of the people who hurt you. You know chaos without needing to announce it every 5 seconds. That right there is rare, because most people leak everything. Their insecurity leaks, their jealousy leaks, their fear leaks, their desperation leaks, their need for validation leaks all over every conversation, every caption, every decision. But you learned how to carry storms without making them everybody else's weather. And people don't understand that. They expect damage to look sloppy. They expect hurt to look weak. They expect trauma to sound dramatic. They expect struggle to make you obvious. But what happens when somebody went through hell? And instead of becoming loud about it, they became precise. What happens when somebody got overlooked so many times that they stopped performing and started observing? What happens when somebody got betrayed enough times that they stopped explaining themselves and started moving different? That's when you become hard to classify. That's when people start saying weird stuff about you. You're hard to read. You're mysterious. You seem chill but intense. You act like you know something. You're not like everybody else. There's just something about you. Yeah, that something is what survival looks like after it stops asking for permission. That something is what happens when your mind has been forced to evolve in places where nobody clapped for you. You became mentally layered, not fake, not performative, not confused, layered. You learned how to smile and still keep your guard up. You learned how to care without oversharing. You learned how to show love without abandoning yourself. You learned how to stand alone without looking lonely. You learned how to be kind without becoming easy prey. And that's what scares people, because they were counting on you being simple. They were counting on you reacting in obvious ways. They were counting on you chasing, begging, explaining, crumbling, oversharing, losing your mind in public so they could feel superior. But instead, you got quieter, sharper, cleaner, more controlled. You stopped giving people free access to your inner world. Now all they can do is watch the outside and guess. And they hate guessing, especially the kind of people who survive by reading weaknesses. You gotta understand this. A lot of people don't connect. They scan. They don't listen to understand. They listen to locate your insecurity. They don't ask questions because they care. They ask questions because they're checking for openings. They want to know what makes you feel small, what makes you chase approval, what makes you flinch, what makes you settle, what makes you easy to manipulate. That's why some people get weird when they meet somebody like you. Because your mind doesn't open on command. You've got depths they can sense, but can't access. You've got scars they can feel, but can't use. You've got thoughts they know are heavy, but you don't spill them cheaply. And in a world where everybody is oversharing for crumbs of attention, Your restraint looks dangerous. Let that sink in. Your restraint looks dangerous. Your composure looks suspicious. Your self-control looks threatening. Your ability to stay calm when other people are spiraling makes them wonder what kind of war built you. And the truth, a real one. Life built you. Disappointment built you. Being misunderstood built you. Being underestimated built you. Getting done dirty by people you would have never played with, like that, built you. Sitting alone with your thoughts when nobody checked on you, built you. Having to figure it out with your chest tight and your back against the wall, built you. That's why your mind moves the way it does. It's not random. It's not some edgy act. It's what happens when a person has had to become their own witness, their own protector, their own coach, their own comfort, their own backup, their own reminder to not break. See, some of the strongest things about you were never taught to you. Gently, you learned awareness through betrayal. You learned patience through delay. You learned discipline through deprivation. You learned discernment through disappointment. You learned emotional control because blowing up would have cost too much. So now when people try to decode you with basic logic, it fails. Because basic logic can't explain a mind that was forged under pressure and still chose not to fold. They think if you're hurt, you should be messy. If you're smart, you should be arrogant. If you're strong, you should be loud. If you're dangerous, you should announce it. If you're healing, you should be soft all the time. But you keep breaking their little formulas. You can be compassionate and unreadable. You can be wounded and still disciplined. You can be isolated and still powerful. You can be tired and still impossible to dominate. You can feel deeply and still move strategically. That combination fries people because they only know extremes. They only understand cartoon versions of human beings, either saint or villain, either broken or bossed up, either emotional or logical, either forgiving or ruthless. But you're more complex than that. You can forgive and never give access again. You can love people and still leave them behind. You can feel pain and not let it rewrite your standards. You can stay humble and still know exactly how valuable you are. You can walk away peacefully while somebody else is still trying to bait you into becoming the old version of yourself. That kind of evolution is terrifying to people who need you to stay familiar. You know what really bothers them? It's not just that they can't explain your mind. It's that they can feel you're operating from somewhere deeper than impulse. They can sense that you think before you move, that you observe before you trust, that you notice everything, that you remember more than you say, that even when you're laughing, there's a part of your mind still reading the room. And no, that doesn't mean you're paranoid. It means you've lived enough life to know that not everybody clapping for you is with you. Not everybody asking questions is interested in your well-being. Not everybody smiling is safe. Not everybody who says, "I got you," can carry your weight when it matters. So, you adapted. And adaptation always looks strange to people who never had to survive anything serious. They call it overthinking because they've never had to pay for trusting the wrong person. They call it intensity because they've never had to build themselves back up in silence. They call it too much because they've never had to become mentally armored just to stay soft in the right places. But you know better. You know your mind had to become this way because there were seasons where nobody came to save you. Seasons where being naive would have ruined you. Seasons where one bad decision could have sunk everything. Seasons where you were getting hit from angles you didn't even see coming. And still, somehow, you didn't become soulless. That's the wildest part. You didn't become empty. You didn't become fully cruel. You didn't become one of those people who hurt others just because you got hurt. Nah. You became selective. You became deliberate. You became hard to access but meaningful to know. That's power. Real power isn't being the loudest in the room. Real power isn't flexing nonstop. Real power isn't acting untouchable on the internet. Real power is being able to carry a mind full of contradictions without collapsing into confusion. Real power is being able to say, "Yeah, I've seen darkness," and still not worship it. Real power is being able to sit with rage and not hand it the steering wheel. Real power is knowing you could destroy things, but choosing precision over chaos. Real power is not needing to explain your depth to people committed to misunderstanding you. And maybe that's what you need to hear today. You do not owe anybody a simpler version of yourself just so they can relax. You do not owe fake comfort to people who only feel safe when you are small. You do not owe transparency to people who never earned access. You do not owe predictability to people who benefited from your confusion. You do not owe softness to people who only show up to test your boundaries. You do not owe an explanation every time your growth makes somebody else uncomfortable. Let them be confused. Let them overanalyze. Let them whisper. Let them compare notes. Let them try to gather clues from your silence. Let them replay conversations trying to figure out whether you're healed, dangerous, broken, brilliant, detached, or all of the above. Because while they're wasting energy trying to classify you, you should be building your peace, building your standards, building your body, building your discipline, building your money, building your environment, building your future so solid that one day the same people who couldn't read you will be forced to watch what they failed to understand. You know what the truth is? Some people don't fear what you've done. They fear what you might do once your focus fully locks in. They can feel it, that you're not even at full capacity yet, that a lot of what they're sensing in you is still undeployed. that the version of you they're studying now is still mid-transformation, and that scares them more, because deep down, they know this isn't your final form. This is you while healing. This is you while rebuilding. This is you while still carrying old weight and learning how to drop it. This is you while still doubting yourself sometimes. This is you before total clarity. This is you before complete alignment. This is you before your confidence becomes effortless. So imagine what happens when you stop shrinking. Imagine what happens when you stop second-guessing the instincts that kept you alive. Imagine what happens when you stop apologizing for being hard to manipulate. Imagine what happens when you stop trying to look harmless for people who are always gonna project onto you anyway. Imagine what happens when you fully accept that some of your weirdest qualities are actually your survival gifts. Your silence, your pattern recognition, your emotional depth, your ability to detach, your ability to see through performances, your ability to sit alone and regroup, your refusal to fold under shallow pressure, your instinct for reading energy before words. Those things are not flaws. Those things are part of your edge. And yeah, edges make people nervous. Good. Not everybody deserves comfort around you. Not everybody deserves to feel like they have you figured out. Not everybody deserves access to your rawest thoughts. Not everybody deserves the map to a mind that was expensive to build. Because it was expensive, you paid for this mind. Maybe not with money, but with nights, with heartbreak, with humiliation, with isolation, with mistakes, with moments where you had to swallow pain and function anyway, with mornings where your chest felt heavy, but the world still expected output, with seasons where nobody saw the internal war, and you still had to act normal. So don't let anybody make you feel wrong for becoming mentally rare. Don't let average minds pathologize your complexity. Don't let insecure people convince you your depth is a problem. Don't let people with shallow intentions shame you for being guarded. Don't let anybody guilt you into becoming easier to consume. You are not content. You are not a toy for other people's curiosity. You are not a public puzzle that owes strangers a solution. You are a living mind, a dangerous one if necessary, a disciplined one if respected, a compassionate one if safe, a ruthless one if pushed too far, a visionary one when focused, a healing one even after everything. That's why they can't explain you, because you are not one note. You are grief that learned strategy. You are sensitivity that learned armor. You are chaos that learned rhythm. You are pain that learned posture. You are loneliness that learned self-respect. You are fire that learned where not to burn. And there is something almost unsettling about a person who has every reason to lose themselves, but doesn't. A person who has every excuse to become reckless, but becomes intentional instead. A person who has every reason to beg for love, but chooses standards. A person who has every reason to prove themselves, but learns to move without announcing every step. That kind of person changes rooms. That kind of person changes outcomes. That kind of person doesn't need to scream power. Power leaks off them quietly. And maybe nobody ever told you that. Maybe people spent more time calling you distant than disciplined. Maybe they called you complicated because they lacked the depth to meet you. Maybe they called you intimidating because they wanted you easier to access. Maybe they called you weird because they couldn't control the emotional weather around you. Maybe they made your self-protection sound like a flaw because your boundaries exposed their habits. But don't get it twisted. Not being easy to read is not a curse. When the world is full of people who weaponize information, not being easy to manipulate is not arrogance. Not being emotionally sloppy is not coldness. Not being instantly available is not cruelty. Not giving everybody the same version of you is not fake. It's wisdom. It's pattern recognition. It's earned caution. It's what happens when your spirit finally understands that access should be sacred. So, stop doubting the very traits that kept you alive. Stop trying to look normal to people who benefit from normal minds. Stop trying to make your complexity digestible for those who were never gonna honor it. Stop editing your edge just because it makes unhealed people nervous. Let them call you intense. Let them say you're hard to figure out. Let them wonder why you don't react the way they expected. Let them keep building theories. Let them keep trying to decode a mind that was shaped in places they would not have survived. And while they're busy doing that, keep sharpening, keep learning, keep healing, keep training your focus, keep protecting your peace, keep stacking evidence that your life is moving in a direction deeper than appearances. Keep becoming so aligned that one day your presence alone answers questions people used to ask behind your back. Because the goal was never to be understood by everybody. The goal is to become so solid in your own mind that misunderstanding no longer shakes you.